Hey everybody, what is up? So, today I had a thought, and I wanted to talk about what Goku's Defiance will mean for the future of Dragon Ball Super. Because we already know that this is all Goku's fault for anything that happens to his universe and many others that will probably die countless lives. We already know that much, but we should also be thinking about the future because we as viewers, we already know that Dragon Ball Super is not going to end after this arc. We know that they're going to try and drag Dragon Ball Super out for as long as they can. But with that whole 10-year gap that Toriyama and them left in there for him to be able to do stuff later, they know they're not just going to finish it off with this arc. I mean, they're going to let them have peace for a few years later, but we already know that this whole time frame they're going to be doing a lot of stuff. So that's why I'm starting to think about what does that mean for the future of Dragon Ball Super, because you have people like Beerus who are already starting to realize why people like Zamasu don't want humans alive, because Goku's a clear example of being reckless and careless and not listening to people that are above him, because we already see how he was willing to literally defy Beerus. He thinks that Beerus is his best friend, and yeah, they're cool, but when you have a god of destruction telling you don't do something, and even though you might be on par near his strength, you still shouldn't do it because he's got more knowledge of stuff than you, basically. And you know, seeing how Beerus was really about to destroy Goku if he didn't listen to him and put the button down, it really just brought a different light to how Dragon Ball Super is going to be in the future, because now, you know, you have people saying, oh, this is how Dragon Ball Super is going to end with Goku and Beerus fighting. And that might be the case. It might be like a last fight to see who is actually stronger and see if Goku can bring out Beerus's 100% potential, because, you know, Beerus never fought with 100% before. That's a possibility, but at the same time, that might be from a conflict, not for fun. It's most likely going to be from a conflict, because right now I'm starting to see the strain between Goku and Beerus. Maybe even Whis. We don't know that for sure, because Whis doesn't interfere with conflicts. I mean, as far as interfering goes, he will either rewind time if it's necessary, or he will just train and observe, and that's pretty much it. But Whis, I think, is not really up to him, more so his father, the Daishinkan. I'm sure that he might have a role in this as well. I mean, people keep saying that he's the real villain, but I'm having a hard time seeing that he's the real villain, because I mean, there's potentially possibilities that yes, he had other children that had died because Omni King killed those universes. So he might be mad at Omni King and might be hoping to get back at him, but how would he get back at him? Let's think about it like that. Because Omni King, we already seen it firsthand, him destroy a universe right in our eyes. What can the Daishinkan do to get his revenge and stuff like that? But that's not what I'm talking about in this video for the most part. But what I really just want to stress upon is what the future of Dragon Ball Super is going to be with Goku. You know, we already know, I can kind of already see where Vegeta's storyline is going to go, you know. He's still going to be the same old badass and stuff like that, you know. It's just that he's going to have way more character development at this point than Goku does, because, you know, for example, you see how he is with his wife Bulma about being pregnant and stuff like that, versus Goku and Whis, who kind of don't either understand what pregnancy is, or they don't have any real livelihood, and they're all focused on one thing. But we can already see that kind of development for Vegeta, so it's out there already. But for Goku, you know, the only character development at this point that I'm seeing is his relationships get strained, because, you know, you already have everybody that was mad at him for making a random decision to switch Earths with Universe 6 if they lost in a tournament. You know, Goku just makes those decisions without telling anybody because he's bored and he wants something to do. And let's say, for example, let's say we already know that because of the ending of Z, we are going to know that Earth is going to be fine. Like, the universe is going to be fine. We already know that much, right? But for the most part, we know that in between those, Earth and the universe may not be fine. Something may happen to where they do have to end up going to a different universe to live, or something may happen to where it's darker times and nobody is interacting with nobody and everybody's scared and in dark depths, you know? Because the way this arc looks is that they're going to be dragging it out through maybe from now until the end of the summer, or maybe even longer, because this arc seems like so much more can happen than any of the other arcs. That's why. Like, you have the main plot, which is all about them trying to get the tournament started. Then you have the suspicion of these characters that are in the tournament in the first place. And then after that, you have the mystery behind the Daishinkan and all of his children. And then you have, well, all the God of Destruction and what's behind them. And then you have the mystery behind the actual fighters and what they're there for and why they think that they're going to make a difference and stuff like that. You know, because in this time, it's going to be a dark time is what I'm seeing. The music for the intro is making it seem like a happy thing and stuff like that. But it's going to be a dark time for a lot of these people in this arc, because I don't see how, I don't think that they're going to win, because there are people that are stronger than Goku. Let's be real. Goku is not the strongest. Beerus has said that there are people stronger than him and Goku combined. And even though that was a while ago, before Goku achieved Super Saiyan Blue, I still think that there are people that can beat him. For example, earlier on, Hit could have beaten Goku with his tactics. He's not stronger than Goku, but he could have beaten Goku, you know, because he has different tactics that no one sees coming, but, you know, he's limited to using undeath skills that don't kill you, basically. But that's pretty much all of my thoughts for that, about what the future of Super will be, and hoping that it won't just be them winning and stuff like that. Hope that they'll actually give a good storyline to where it's not just, you know, everything's fine in the end. We know everything's fine in the very, very end, but we don't want to know that Goku and Vegeta are just going to win the whole thing, you know, or it's going to be up to Goku to win, because it's 10 fighters, and if it's 10 fighters, you know, then we need something to show us that it's not going to be the same thing as a regular tournament where Goku and Vegeta will always win, you know. We need to see that there are dark times ahead and that they're not going to be fine, you know. Goku Black arc was somewhat the same kind of way, where it had dark time, but you're seeing that from a different perspective of one character most of the time. You're not seeing that for the whole main cast that we usually are seeing. That's why it's going to be different, in my opinion. But yeah, that's pretty much it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.